G'day Brisbane people. Gordon here with Guardians of Freedom. Just doing a special video for everyone in Brisbane and particularly in the Guardians of Freedom community and the branches out there. So I just want to do a quick introduction about the Brisbane branch and how we're going to be going forward. And also to let you guys know, I'm going to be working directly in coordinating the Brisbane branch moving forward. Because I live on the Sunshine Coast, so I'm actually not too far away, and I'm looking forward to really getting to know everyone in Brisbane properly. And we're going to have some events coming up, which I'll talk about shortly, on how we're going to really work on fostering those connections and building rapport, genuine connections with everyone in Brisbane. Now, I guess, firstly, what's the branch about? What's Guardians of Freedom about? So if you don't know much about us, hopefully you can come in for one of our fortnightly video conferences, or you can have a look at our website. There's actually quite a bit of information there. The next video conference is on the 30th of October, so come on in, guys, and have a look at that. If you can make it, that's on, sorry, not the 30th, the 31st of October. That's Sunday at 10 a.m. Brisbane time. If not, jump on the website. There's tons of info on the website. And really, in a nutshell, Guardians of Freedom is about taking a realistic approach to what's happening out there. So our key messages are: get real, get prepared, and get yourselves in good support networks. And that's what we've been trying to build here with the local branch. So the local branches are really about surrounding yourselves and really getting to know people in your local community who are like-minded, who are standing for the same beliefs and morals, and people that are actually willing to do some proper action in terms of what needs to be done. When we talk about realistic views, just as a real quick summary, it's about understanding who's behind this and how far they're willing to go. And we talk about that on our video conferences every fortnight. But just really simply, you're not dealing with Scotty, you're not dealing with Anastasia. All of these guys are just puppets, and they're following through on the same orders that every other leader around the world is doing, and we can see that's clear as day. Now, we have had, I guess, this approach from day one: prepare for the worst, hope for the best. So you can see, I guess, what's happening out there now. And I think a lot of people are really starting to come to where we've been at for the last year and a half. And now people are starting to panic. And I think we are right now trying to get everyone to prepare ahead so that you don't end up in that state where you're caught in the trap. And this is how they work. They've got a trap, and they're trying to squeeze everyone right now. So just a quick rundown of what's happening out there. New South Wales just brought in some ludicrous roadmap, which essentially is outcasting anyone who's unvaccinated from participating in society. But more than that, it's stopping them from being able to work. Victoria's doing the same. Northern Territory have gone ahead and done the same. Now, Queensland just released theirs last night, and if you have a look at it, it's pretty much the same. They're trying to sugarcoat it here. Okay, but again, if you're not preparing ahead, you will get stuck in that trap, and you'll end up taking your jab. So what I'd suggest is get involved now, and try to come to some of these meetings. So I'll go through the events right at the end of this video, because they're pretty exciting events that we've got coming up. Now, yeah, that's I guess the most important message is really get connected, and that's what we're going to foster with the branch, is getting those connections and also having a proper plan in place. And so that takes us to our plan B. Now, plan A we had for the last year and a half running, and we're trying to get as many numbers together as we can. And where we are right now, it's not looking like we're going to get those numbers to take those actions that need to be taken. So we're really putting an emphasis on having Plan B prepared, which is essentially about having off-grid communities. And again, you have to be prepared for that. You can't suddenly one day wake up and go, okay, I'm going to go. Okay, you've got to be actually prepared for that. So you've got to look ahead, and you've got to be realistic. And just another, I guess, external event that happened over in Germany. There's a particular state over there. I put a post up last night about it, and they've brought in a law that will allow even supermarkets, all businesses, including supermarkets, to stop people from entering the business without their vaccine passport. Okay, so when we've been saying this stuff for the last year and a half, we've been faced with a lot of wishful thinking, and I understand where people are coming from with that, and I'm not criticizing anyone about it. And it's a very difficult situation that we're facing worldwide to come to grips with and really understand that, these guys are going to go the full hog. They want every single person vaccinated, and they're going to squeeze in whatever way they have to, as hard as they have to make that happen. And this town or this state in Germany has gone ahead with this. Okay, so when people were telling me last year, oh, that will never happen, and I'm talking about freedom movement people, it's happening already in Germany, and it will very likely, I believe, happen everywhere else eventually once they've squeezed in other ways. Another thing to look at is the quarantine camps. Right, so Queensland Roadmap says, and they make it purposely confusing. I'll do a whole nother video on the Queensland Roadmap, but basically you can't travel in without double jabbed or without your vaccine passport or whatever. But then they say unvaccinated travellers will go into quarantine, and I'm going to really dissect that later on, what that means. Just in a nutshell, and most people don't really get this yet. They think it's easy going still. What they're really doing is putting that little message out there, and this is how they do things. The little message is going out there to say that the quarantine camps are for unvaccinated, right? Once they start pushing that message harder and harder, and they up the propaganda about how unvaccinated are a danger to public health, you can see where it's going. So, yeah, get out there, guys, and please share with what we're doing, because in order for this to be successful, we need as many people moving in the same direction, working towards a realistic strategy, and being organized, and really being in a I guess community. So anyone that is like-minded, please go out and share. Get them involved, get them together, and I'll quickly run through the events. So event number 1, I'm going to try and get this up and running this week, will be an online event. Just a real simple online meeting that anyone in Brisbane can come to, ask any questions that you've got, and get to know everyone again. So the next event from there we're going to have will be a in-person meetup in a well, we're looking at a park, and we're looking to do this meetup as a barbecue event. It's going to be family friendly, so people can come in, bring your families. I'll be bringing our kids as well, so more than welcome to bring family, pets, etc. And that's looking like, and we haven't locked it in yet, it'll most likely be around the 6th of October. Okay, so just look out for our announcement on the Facebook page. And that's again going to let everyone get to know each other really well, build that rapport, build that connection. I'll be there, all of our coordinators will be there, so if anyone has questions on the day about Guardians of Freedom, that's the time you can go ahead and ask. The third event is going to be really cool as well. It's going to be a mini camping trip, so we're looking at a 2-night camping trip. It'll be running from a Friday to a Sunday, and essentially if you can't make the Friday, just come in whenever you want to. So you can come in on the Saturday, and it'll be running for those 3 days consecutive. And what again that'll do is allow us to get to know each other even more. But more than that, it's essentially getting you prepared for Plan B. Being able to go off grid, being able to be self-sufficient just for those few days, and it will help you to work out what you might need to do to bolster those efforts going forward. So the short video became a long video. Unfortunately, they all seem to. There's always a lot of content, guys. So please get out there, guys. Share. Let's get the community together in Brisbane, and get everyone ready to see the reality of what's happening, and be ready to take the right actions that we need to keep ourselves safe, secure, and thriving is what we want to do. We don't want to just be surviving. We want to be thriving. Okay, guys. So take care out there, and I'll catch you guys soon.